Howdy and hello, whoever's watching. Welcome to the start of, I guess you could say, my gacha updates. I've wanted to start something along the lines of like a weekly or maybe even bi-weekly update videos just talking about some of the gachas that I'm playing and whatever's going on with them, be it my progress or event stuff, things like that. I've mentioned before the various gacha games that have my attention so far to varying degrees. So this week I'm gonna go over what's going on so far. Okay, so just figured I'd start with Arknights, because a homie of mine uh, got me curious about this game and has definitely been uh, suggesting I get on this game more ASAP because of the event that's happening right now. But as you guys can see, I am still like in the beginning, beginning of this game. uh, like various games that I've mentioned before, this kind of goes in the category of games that have my curiosity. Like, I like it aesthetically, the story has me curious, but due to the nature of the gameplay, uh, I'll need to invest a bit more time into it, actually like sit down and progress through it, and especially if I'm going to do this event. I think it says I have to get to at least 1-10. Yeah. So I definitely have some stuff to do in this game. But that's the best way I would sum it up, is that I'm curious enough to give it a bit more of a try. Just haven't fully gone dedicated just yet. But my homie at the least has given me tips on like the general structure of the game. He's already suggested who I should focus on building, favorites and meta-wise. As you can see, the ones I'm prioritizing on the left here. So I will be, like most of the games I play, I'll be taking a very slow and casual approach to it, but I'll at least try to do a good chunk soon, so I don't miss this event that's going on right now. But gameplay-wise, I like it so far. It's a tower defense strategy sort of gameplay. I like that. As far as I know, the auto function gets unlocked later, but I think it mainly applies to after you 3-star a level? I have to double check. But either way, this is the sort of game that I'm still probably going to have to dedicate a little bit more time to progressing through it. So we'll see what I do. I haven't really looked much into like content on this game yet. So if there's any YouTubers y'all recommend that I watch when it comes to this game, let me know. Alright, so next up we got Nikke. So far, I think people have already seen, honestly, my story progress in this game especially has been quite slow. But like a couple of other games, the dailies require one a day, so I've just been following that, really. If I remember correctly, I'm on chapter 7? Yeah, chapter 7. So, yeah, not the farthest of progress. But going through it slowly but surely. Honestly, I've just mainly been doing dailies, and I pushed the event as soon as it came out. In fact, speaking of the event, I already did all the stages, but you still have to wait a little bit for hard mode, at least at the time of me making this. So, in the meantime, every day I've mainly just been focusing on redoing the level with the XP chips. And then shop-wise, I always prioritize currency for pulls. And you'll see why in a little bit. But when it comes to the stages I redo, I've mainly prioritized the XP chips because this is where I'm at character-wise. You can tell who my favorites are. But I know I have needed to like kind of even things out a little bit. And not play favorites too much. Have a good balance of characters of different elements. I'm subscribed to Tomias, so I do hear a little bit about like what's meta and like tier list updates and yada yada. I only half pay attention to that, to be honest, but I probably should like start focusing a bit more on like specialized team building, seeing who would be like most ideal to push up a bit further. The main ones that I put into the synchro device are my 3 stars that I haven't gotten dupes for yet. In fact, 3-star wise, only Pravati and Diesel I'm lucky enough to get. Oh, Ludi too. But you can see who I have in my sync device. If you guys have suggestions for who to focus on with this roster, or at least with who I have so far, let me know. But so far, XP wise, I'm kind of just balancing everyone out, making sure to push my SRs, so that way the people in the synchro device can keep leveling up. That typical stuff. That's really what I've been doing with that. And then, ooh, this crew of waifus. As you can see, I've picked Guilty to focus on. What I've done is, Tomias put out a video some time ago about the switching between targets whenever you get to like one of these points. So now I've seen this like the starting story for each of the characters. I mean, I can't really say who's my favorite out of the 3, but for now, I was still gonna focus on Guilty. And then, I mean, honestly, this is probably going to take me a very long time because I'm still a free-to-play player. But if I had to say an order that I'll focus on, I'll do Guilty, and then Quincy, and then I'll do Sin last. So I'll just keep progressing this, keep doing the refresh strat. Once I get to a point, or one of these like checkpoints or whatever, you switch targets, and it gives you a free refresh. And I'll just keep doing that, and then we'll see how long it takes me to get Guilty. But that's what I've been doing there. And then, polls wise, I have not pulled on Jackal at all. I wanted to wait for Viper, although, well, kind of tempted to pull for Jackal. But either way, I probably should be waiting regardless. To be honest, I really just want Helm. I already have Modernia. I got lucky in getting her. I want Helm. What do I have to do to get Helm? Jeez. So I'm gonna be doing polls next week when Viper comes, or is it next week? I gotta double check actually. Whenever Viper comes, I'll be doing polls. Try to get Viper, but honestly, just see if I eventually get lucky and get Helm by surprise. Howdy, it's me from the future. Check out these super laggy polls. that's where I'm at with Nikke, really. Really just been doing casual progression. I do co-op stuff whenever it's available and the homies hit me up to play. Aside from that, I haven't really been doing much, honestly. So that's where I'm at with Nikke. Alright, so now we have Artery gear. So where I'm at here is, I've already caught up on the story. Getting pretty intense, really. But until the next parts come out, I've really just been slowly going through hard mode, one at a time. We're definitely in territory where I low-key can't auto anymore for the most part. So just going through that. Aside from that, just doing the usual dailies. I know I've said before that I need to focus on pushing Mutation Waypoint and also trying out this content that I'm probably still not ready for, but I might be able to attempt this, or this stage at least. But I've kind of been holding off on it all, because I'm really mainly trying to make sure that my gear is maxed out as best as it can be. I still have a handful of gear. Well, not only have I been getting new gear still, so I still need to go through and like clean stuff up and see what's the best stuff that I have. But some gear that I do have that I know I like, I'm still like maxing it out. So I've been holding off on that other content in the meantime. The other reason I've been holding off on that other content is because of the events. Not only has this one come back again, which I've haven't even touched this one, honestly. So I was gonna do this last, but I have still been accumulating the points. Oh, whoops. Which I guess I might as well go in here. I've been using the collab characters, so I think my points progression has been better this time around compared to before. But I've mainly been focusing on the new collab event. Doing the typical thing of taking advantage of this EX stage to level up whoever I need to. I was mainly focusing on using the collab characters at first to max them out and also keep getting those points, which is possible. But also to get this other currency, to do the typical thing of clearing out this shop, quote unquote. This is the gacha role, basically, for more resources. I think I'm on the second to last round already. Yeah, so once I get some of these other higher tier things, it's already going to be time for me to move on to redoing that other event, the first version of this event. And then as for these medals here, I've actually been holding off on using them because, to be honest, in fact, I was going to mention that later, I might as well mention it now. I don't really care about these collab characters, so I haven't been using my medals for any of this stuff, and I've just been holding off until this section of the shop unlocks, which is, let's see, that's a bit more than a week from the time I'm recording this. So yeah, just utilizing this event to still do a bit of grinding and leveling up. And then when that shop opens up, I'll use all these medals to get those other resources. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Artery gear. Just like with Nikke, I'm holding off on pulls, well, even holding off even more so than Nikke, because again, I really didn't care about trying to get these collab characters. I already have this one, and I know Artery is a game where collab characters are busted, but I already didn't get Clarice, so I'm fine just chilling and saving until whatever irresistible thing comes up. In fact, I was lucky enough to get Veronica when I did. So for now, until the next batch of story content comes out, I'll just be doing slow progression through hard mode, cleaning out the rest of this collab event, and then we'll see what else comes up. I still haven't even really peeked into like what's to come. Like, I haven't peeked into the like JP side of things. So again, like, that applies to all these games. If you guys have recommendations for content creators or just wherever I can look, I keep forgetting that the Discord is a thing also. But aside from the Discord, if there's any content you guys recommend, I'll check it out. Okay, and last but not least, we got Blue Archive. So story-wise, I'm all caught up. Blue Archive, like I've said in the past, wacky but also cute story overall, but it has slowly become more like intriguing, if not intense. But just like Artery Gear, we have to wait for the next part to come out. So aside from story, I've also already, in fact, sorry, this is all just loading now because I'm on LD player now. But I have completed all the missions too. The only thing I'm missing is I didn't grab this little gem gift in the stage, but main content-wise, I'm all done actually. So I've just been doing dailies, trying to keep up with things, still accumulating resources, and also I've kind of reached the point where I've been just maxing out, trying to max out whoever I can, because right now the max level is 80, and I've maxed out almost everyone that I use the most. And so when I get to that point and I just have extra resources, I've just been being a bit of a completionist, going down the line of maxing out whoever. But as you'll see later, there are a couple other characters that it will be smart for me to save my resources for. But if there are other characters that I should be focusing on for whatever future content is coming, as usual, let me know. But meta or not, well, it doesn't show the order entirely, but meta or not, there have been certain characters that are my favorites that I've focused on like since day one. But in the meantime, there was the update recently. This game finally got a friend system. I probably should start trying to utilize that. You can set up to 10 characters now for your lineup in lobby. So that's pretty cool. And also the big change that I saw the YouTubers I follow mainly talking about was the being able to set your starting skill. And so as you'd figure, I imagine that's changing how people approach, well, not changing, but improving how people approach stuff like the raids. Speaking of which, I cleared extreme on this. I think it took me 17, so. But even just doing that, being able to set your starting skills is rather than having to rely on RNG is pretty darn cool. So that was a nice change. But aside from all of that, the new main attraction here is this event. Just like with the story in general in this game. A nice little quick, cute story. Wacky too. But overall, pretty entertaining. So I already did the story. I did all of these quests too, but honestly was like half paying attention. So I didn't even 3-star them all yet. I'll be going back through them anyway because not only are there the challenges to... It's all basically clearing it within a minute and 15. I think the challenge stages themselves... Oh, yeah, they all have their own certain challenges. So, I'll be going through, trying to make sure I clear them all in the proper time anyway, because what I did by default was going through with this team, because in typical Blue Archive event fashion, there's the bonus for the event materials. So I was just going through trying to get as high of a bonus as I can. And from what I noticed, it's different from previous events where usually there's like certain stages where you want to farm certain materials. But for this one, it's all just this prize box here. Well, that's the main event currency, and then you use that for the gacha, which in fact I'll show you guys in a little bit. But instead, for this, it looks like what you'll want to do is you'll want to farm certain stages for higher rarity of tech notes or the Blu-rays, depending on what you want or what you need. So either way, I'm sure people already know, like, do all the missions, or at least progress as far as you can, and then farm on whichever one you want the materials from, while locking in the highest bonus you can. So, in fact, what I'm going to be doing is later when I pull for Wakamo and Nonomi, I'll be coming back here to try and get an even higher percentage. Because if I remember correctly, Summer Wakamo and Swimsuit Wakamo and Nonomi give a higher percentage than everyone else. So I'll be able to come back through these with a higher bonus percentage and farm whatever I need. But first things first, I probably should claim everything I've gotten so far. And use all of this. Okay, that took way more than I thought it would. But this is where people mean when they say the event, one of the event characters is quote unquote free. Finally got the ellipse for getting Swimsuit Ayane. Oh, and that was the only one that was missing. See, look, that usually doesn't take me that many to finally get that, but we cleared that. I'll go to the next round. And I'll keep burning all these. You get all these resources, which will be really helpful for pushing the characters that I'm going to pull for. So yeah, I'll be coming back through these stages as well as doing these challenges. Even with my maxed out characters, there have been some times in past events where I still haven't been able to do some of these challenges. So we'll see what all I can pass. Now, as for pulls, as you guys probably saw, this is where Wakamo and Nonomi are, and I know I've already heard some YouTubers say that this is low-key bait. Well, I mean, waifu over meta regardless, like, people will pull if they want these characters. But the main reason people said to wait is because of the swimsuit Hoshino, Summer Hoshino banner coming up, where I think there's a increased rate for 3 stars in general. But the reason I was going to not skip this banner, and honestly I was just going to dump everything here for the most part, was because until the next story content comes out, I might actually be taking a little bit of a break from this game. Sort of. Well, not really a break, actually. It's more like this game might go on the back burner a little bit. And I just want Wakamo and Nonomi, to be honest. So I was gonna pull for these two, and then when Hoshino comes, if I get her, I get her. If I don't, I'm missing out, because I have heard how good Summer Hoshino is. But honestly, if I miss out, it is what it is. And then this game, I'll be like playing a bit more passively until the next set of story content comes out, or that I think it's like some kind of track event that comes later on. And so yeah, I'm gonna go all in on these pulls. As you can see from my amount, I am prepared to get a pity for Wakamo, and then we'll just use whatever is left for Nonomi. Well, mostly whatever. I'll see how much I feel like leaving. But let's start with pulls. Off to a fantastic start already. Oh boy, alright. Oh. Okay, what do we got here? I think I forgot in this game if you skip, does it like skip your new ones too or not? I don't remember. We'll just go through Who is it? Oh! That was fast. Dang, didn't even have to pity. Okay.
Oh, baby!
Mission accomplished already. Now the question is, how much do I use for Nonomi? Because I don't know if I want to pity or like go for a full pity for Nonomi. Wow, I really only did 4 multis and I got Wakamo. That's wild. And I'm already 4K away from getting ready to dip into my pity fund. Sorry, I'm doing some math in my head, because usually when the next part of an event comes around, they give you at least 1 free multi, right? So... Oh wait, I just realized. Oh, the points are shared between the two. That's cool. So do I pity for Nonomi? That's probably a bad idea. But I might do it anyway. I don't know. Let's just pull. We'll see. I'd have to do 120 more pulls. Oh, I don't feel like doing math right now. The smart thing to do, the optimal thing to do, the meta thing to do is probably to save this to pity for Hoshino. If she's gonna be that good and make the next content that much easier. And I know a determining factor for pulling on these banners sometimes is whether or not someone is limited or not. But honestly, a lot of times, even if a character isn't limited and they go into the normal banner, that most definitely never guarantees you will get that. I still never even got Bunny Asuna. Well, because I think the Hoshino banner is supposed to be an increased rate for all 3 stars, right? I need to double check all the facts. But we can do some math and see what would be more worth it comparatively. But if I end up being tempted to pity for Nonomi, I will record it. I'll record it later at some point, and we'll see what happens. But for now, I will wait then. But we got Wakamo either way. So mission accomplished one way or another. So what I'm gonna be doing. Oh, and we have her too. So what I'm gonna be doing is using whatever resources I have to max out both of these two. And then, as you guys can see too, I have way too much stamina right now. Or I guess not way too much, because that just means I get to farm more. So I'm gonna be going back in here, making sure that I clear all the challenge, all the tasks, 3-star everything, and go through with the highest bonus percent I can to put back into this. Excuse me. And just get all the free resources. And that's where we're at with Blue Archive so far. Glad we got Wakamo. We'll see if I'm tempted to pull for Nonomi in the next 2 weeks. And then aside from this event, I'm just waiting on main story content, really. So, hope you guys liked that first attempt at a gacha roundup of sorts. Like I said, I do want to try and do this more often. Because since with a couple of these games, I'm waiting on story content anyway. I'll want to keep up with them, see what else comes around the bend, while still giving a little bit of time into exploring the other games that I've been curious about. But yeah, stay tuned for my future updates. Like I said, I appreciate whatever recommendations or tips you guys give, and I appreciate y'all checking this out. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Hope you had a chill time. If you like me, be sure to subscribe. If you want more to see, check out what's next to the Chibi. Links to my social media or anything else I may have mentioned is in the description. That's all for now. Laters.
Mayhem, dropping drama, radical rebel with the need to bomber. Fake MC, then I hang 'em higher. The